Chapter 24. Shadows and Secrets. The hidden city beneath Cardiff pulsed with new life. Lanterns floated like fireflies, bobbing above bridges carved long ago by exiled hands. Sparks glinted from gnome forges where weapons clanged. Sharp and fast against stone, threads of silver magic drifted through the tunnels like veins, pulsing in time with something ancient. The forgotten clans had risen, and the underground world hummed with purpose, the air alive with the heat of rebellion. Above, the city was still, silent, waiting. The palace gates lay broken, council banners trampled in the mud, but Cardiff had not yet been won. Shadows still whispered behind stone walls. Traps and wards coiled tight, waiting to snap. Decima stood in the courtyard of the reclaimed keep, the wind tugging at her cloak. The fire mark on her wrist pulsed faintly, an itch beneath her skin. Cassian moved beside her, his voice a quiet rasp. "You've done what no one thought possible. You united the clans, witches, gnomes, dragons." Decima looked skyward. Sarenfe's wings sliced the clouds, a streak of fire-lit shadow against the moon. Her bond pulsed faintly in her chest, steady, a quiet thrum that echoed Daniel's presence. Daniel. She felt it, the ghost of his touch, the memory of his breath. A tether across distance, steady even as war brewed around her. Her gaze dropped to the city. "It's only the beginning," she said. "The council's rot runs deeper than walls. We'll burn it out." They gathered in the council's old war chamber. The table bore scars of old magic, burned sigils, gouged runes. Now it held voices again. Malie the seer traced fingers across a cracked map, her silks brushing ash. The archives beneath Saint Eluned's hold, their oldest oaths, blood-written, sealed by bone. If they reached them first, they could call reinforcements. Decima's fire mark flared. "Take the subway weavers. Find the codex. Burn every lie from the stone." Old Brinac leaned in, his knuckles cracking against the wood. "The vaults under the keep guard something darker. A shard wrapped in iron runes. My bow can breach it, if the wards fall." Elin, captain of the gnomes, tapped her hammer on the table. Sparks snapped from the metal. "We'll reforge our weapons for breachwork. No vault stands against moonsteel." At the far end of the room, Sister Willa and Seren stood like shadows in human shape. Willa spoke first. "The spire is shielded by iron and starlight." Seren's voice followed, soft as wind. "Sarenfe and I will untangle the sky's chains. The stars will not answer tonight." Cassian's voice cut through, low and certain. "We move before dawn, as shadows, as secrets. We cut their roots. If they can't call the crown, they can't rule." Decima set her hands on the table, her breath steady, her fire mark pulsing in the dark. "We're not just fighting," she said. Her voice didn't rise, but it carried. "We're rewriting the city's story. We turn the council's power into the fuel that burns them down." The table shook. They moved. Molly led the subway weavers into the cathedral's bowels. The air was thick with the smell of old stone and incense long burned out. Lanterns swung, casting long shadows. The seer whispered glyphs into the air, unbinding locks with steady hands. The final ward shattered like glass. Scrolls lay inside, bound in iron ribbon, sealed in silence. When Molly's fingers touched them, they crumbled. Oaths unbound, names unspoken. Far above, a great bell stammered once, then fell silent. Beneath the keep, Brinac's bow sang as Elin's hammers rang. Each arrow struck the vault doors, cracking the enchantments. Runes burned away. The doors split. Silver-laced chains and cursed coins spilled across the stone. The gnomes laughed, but they took no treasure. On the spire, Willa climbed iron struts, her wind magic slipping through wards like fingers through cloth. Sarenfe circled above, her flame gentle, precise, melting runes without setting the sky alight. The lattice shimmered, blue light fracturing, falling away. When the final glyph fell, the sky fell silent. No horn, no summons, no aid. By the time dawn touched the towers of Cardiff, the secrets were gone. Scrolls turned to ash. Vaults emptied. Wards undone, and above it all, Decima's banner rose. Black silk, silver flame. Not just a mark of conquest. A promise. The city no longer belonged to the powerful. It belonged to the people who had lived in its shadows and learned to fight back.